This is Cleverbot, supposedly the internet's smartest chatbot. As you can see, it still needs some work. Artificial intelligence. What is it? How much do we rely on it? Is it in our cars, our phones, and our search engines? We asked the public their thoughts.
As far as I know, it's where they try to replicate intelligence through a variation of different programs.
It's machines that are smart.
Artificial intelligence. It's like, I'm guessing, sort of robots and mechanical, synthetic intelligence kind of thing.
Artificial intelligence means that humans have created a way where possibly machines or software in machines can think for themselves and sort of do things that we might not have to do.
Well, I think in real life it's going to be more sort of like Facebook and programs within sort of apps and games and computer programs that can predict what's going to happen and deal with that, rather than what you see in films and stuff when it's robots that are behaving like humans and trying to kill us and take over the world and stuff.
Quite a lot of things. I think in cars, AI is becoming a big thing. They can sort of park themselves, plane safety equipment or things like that, guidance systems, factories, robots in the factories, stuff like that.
I assume it's kind of things such as smart checkout machines, expert systems on an oil rig, maybe even software in a plane kind of thing, where it's monitoring different weather systems and stuff like that. Personally, I don't think it could reach a level of intelligence purely on the basis that it can't feel. I think human intelligence, the difference with human intelligence is our broad range of emotions. So I think the fact that a computer's never going to be able to feel anything, it can't reach that level of intelligence, if that makes sense. You know, human intelligence will make actions based upon how it feels in certain occasions, such as fight or flight, whereas a computer will just kind of do what it's programmed to do, basically.
Probably, eventually. I guess then that'll kind of come down with how people see them, if they're like synthetic and sentient beings. Kind of, some people I guess would want to treat them like humans, and then some people would feel threatened by them and think that they will take over the world, I guess. So I guess it just, if it ever happens, it's how we as a race handle it.
I think it depends how we program it, because it is an artificial intelligence, so I think it depends on the people that make it. Well, if they decide to just make one for an experiment and then it goes crazy, maybe that would happen, but I don't know. I think it's the humans who make it which will determine how it learns, what it learns, and what it can do.
I think AI could probably surpass human intelligence. I think they would be able to think. They wouldn't be as balanced, they wouldn't have the emotions people have, they would never be blindsided by them. They'd be able to look past it, be a bit sociopathic, and that's a trait that many successful people have. We're doomed.
Everyone seems to think they have some kind of idea of what AI is, but we spoke to experts Ian Gent and Daniel Glazer to get some answers.
AI is a really fluid concept, but basically trying to get computers to do smart things. And usually you mean things that normally people would do. But it's a really fluid thing, because sometimes things start out as AI and then they stop being AI. Because if you work out how to get computers to do them really, really well, people stop realizing that it's sort of AI anymore. So often the bar keeps moving up. There's a lot more of it than you think. So you kind of think, oh, you know, you might see something on the news, some AI thing has done something, or was a robot wandering on Mars or something like that. But actually, probably your breakfast, if you did an order at Tesco's or something, it was probably the scheduled delivery was probably scheduled using AI techniques. Or if you do an order, Amazon, the thing which took it from worked out which was the best order, the best sequence of orders to fulfill at the warehouse. Again, that may have been AI. Or when your camera, you hit the button on your camera and it does an autofocus. That might be AI. There's often a bit of AI just to recognise the faces so it can focus, because normally people take pictures of faces. So it's all over the place in lots of places you wouldn't expect.
In philosophy, one thinks about zombies. I don't know if you've come across that in philosophy of consciousness. So a zombie is somebody who looks like you and talks like you and acts like you, but as a matter of fact has no consciousness. Okay, and Dave Chalmers and others have argued that you cannot even in principle distinguish between one of those and one of us, because the definition of a zombie is that by every objective measure, including brain imaging actually, he looks exactly the same as you or I. It's just that, as a matter of fact, he's not conscious, okay? Now, I don't think that's exactly the same as intelligence, but it is the case that, you could make a quite intelligent seeming machine by just aggregating a bunch of responses from people and spitting them out in a plausible form. So again, years and years ago, I wrote a very simple, intelligent answering machine which just had 30 facts. And every time you asked it a question, it just did some very, very simple word comparison with your question and then spat out the fact that most closely matched the words, right? So it didn't know anything about anything. It just did pattern matching. Okay? And it was mostly very stupid, but then occasionally you'd ask it a question, it would go boom, come out, and you go, fuck me, how did it know the answer to that? Now, so that was a very limited demonstration. Of course, since then we've had the internet, and I don't know if you saw Ex Machina, or Ex Machina. So the bit where he goes, instead of ploughing all of the profits from my massive internet company into funding AI labs, I just took all of the things that people typed into the search forms and used that. And that's not a stupid thing to do.
In one sense, there's a lot of work now. This is like a really trendy thing called deep learning, where you sort of throw lots of data. So all of Facebook's data, and you shove it into a machine learning program and hope that it comes out and says, oh, if you put this at the top of Facebook, we'll get more visits and, we'll make more money. So there's that kind of thing. And often that will be the notion is that you're not telling it what to do. So technically that's called unsupervised learning. So you give it the data and it tries something, and you're not saying, yes, that's right. You're just saying, you just sort of say, oh yeah, we made more money last week. But maybe last week was Christmas or something. So it wasn't necessarily the machine. So one answer is there's a lot of this stuff in learning and this deep learning trendy buzzword thing. The other answer is that actually AI programs can't really do it at all. So a good example of that is a few years ago there was IBM won a quiz show called Jeopardy, and they put all of Wikipedia into the computer. They did all sorts of really clever stuff, and they won this quiz show, which was human level questions, like in English. And now they're using that technology to do things like medical diagnosis. But there's a huge amount of work by people to reprogram the thing. It's not just like you give it all of Wikipedia, right? What that thing could do was learn how to do questions on this quiz show. And if you or me could do that, we could then go and learn medicine or something. But it's not like that. You have to totally reprogram it. So they kind of can't do it at all in some sense.
What's attractive about it is that you don't know what's going on inside. And so in a simplistic sense, what's attractive is it's got great performance and we don't know how it works, therefore it must be intelligent, right? So to loop this bit of what I'm saying back, as with the zombie thing, it does feel to me, arguably, that when it comes to intelligence, performance may not be enough.